Hi, it's Sue Rogers here. Welcome to Sue Rogers Unedited. I have a special guest with me, and her name is Cher. We're going to get just right into who she is, what she does, and go from there. So, Cher, welcome. Please introduce yourself. Let us know a little bit about you and what you've got going on.
Yeah, hi. I'm so happy to be here. I am Cher Olivos. I own BeBalanced Natural Hormone Weight Loss. It's based here in Woodland Hills, LA. What we do, we help clients lose 15 to 22 pounds in the first month, but really there's so much more underneath because we're balancing hormones. It's a holistic, really approach to reset your body, your mind back, your gut restored. So fun stuff.
Yes, and it's so relatable to things that I tell people all the time. With my background in wellness, also, and helping people over the years, I love talking with other people that do the same thing because we end up learning more from each other at the same time too. But how did you get into doing what you're doing? Because usually our stories are so personal with not being able to get help for what we need without having to figure it out for ourselves and then share it with others. So tell us a little bit how you landed where you're at.
Yeah, right now I'm swimming in more of like Eastern medicine, but I actually come from 18 years in working in Western medicine here in LA, hopped around, worked with hundreds of physicians, therapists, backstage in compliance operations, more of the business side. So I really saw a lot from the insurance, the fraudulent side, everywhere from nonprofits, eating disorder treatment centers,
Oh,
um, yeah, hospitals, obviously, the insurance side, and I even worked for a supplemental company. But
okay.
I, so when I had my son, I figured, okay, I have all these resources. I have CEOs, I have directors. Someone help me bounce back. So I did everything. I mean, a lot of DIY. I really thought I was going to bounce back.
Yeah.
But despite even the therapy, I mean, so much, I wasn't feeling like myself again. And I'm like, there's something missing here. So I learned about Be Balanced. It's actually a franchise. So tested, proven. I know I didn't invent it, but coming from like risk management, I love that it was science-backed, proven, has worked with like 100,000 people. And I'm like, okay, there's something here. But at the time, I thought I was the only one dealing with hormonal issues. There's no demand here. No other woman is experiencing what I'm experiencing.
Which is right, so not the case.
I know, big narcissist.
Well, no one talks about it, so we don't know that anyone else is struggling with it.
Oh my gosh, I had that conversation after I had my kid. All my friends, one group, they all had kids before me. I'm like, hey, did you guys deal with this and this and this? And they said the same thing. Like, yeah, we did, but we ate it. We don't talk about it. You just tolerate it, get used to it, share.
Yeah, because you're taught, oh, this is just normal now, but it's not.
hmm I
Yeah.
mean, I went to my doctors, OBs, masseuses, chiros. It's like if I fixed one thing, another thing broke. I went to my supplemental company. I stole so much from the warehouse. I didn't steal, but I had all these supplements, and I'm like, why is my hair still falling out? Here's another person here, their hair is falling out. Something is missing here. So, yeah. So then I landed here and I found a lot of the missing link. And that's what a lot of clients tell me, like, oh my God, I think this was the missing link, whether it was candida yeast overgrowth, the estrogen dominance, or the blood sugar imbalance. Those are
Yeah.
probably the top three.
Yeah. I had a question and then I just lost it. So those top three things. And then, oh, so with what you're able to do, are you able to actually do like testing on those levels to find out where people are at? Or is it just kind of like you, a lot of things you can gauge by what people's bodies are doing. And then as the healing process happens, it reverses those like symptoms and things. But is there actual like, are you able to do like blood testing and anything to check any of those? Or do people do them, um, you know, on their own while working with you too?
Yeah, so it's more symptoms based, especially when it comes to hormones, because that can be inaccurate based on the time of month. Instead, we go based off of symptoms. So during our free consults, we take inventory of certain key symptoms. And
Mhm.
then after working with us, I have my clients retake that same quiz and then it's scored by numbers. So usually clients will score like 45 on their hormone imbalance sheet and then drop by at least half. Their bloating, their PMS symptoms, hair loss, all of that. The one thing we do test is Candida yeast overgrowth, and that's with a simple spit test with your
Mhm.
morning saliva to see if that's there. Otherwise, generally, we're non-medical. We don't do labs. We work with others.
Yeah. I mean, but there's so like a lot of what I do too is same process, but I don't do the candida test. But how many people are
Mhm.
have that as a factor that work with you?
100%. I had one woman, one woman take it maybe like at 4 p.m. after she had a clean diet, brushed her teeth. Oh, I took my test, I passed. And I'm like, take it tomorrow morning with your fresh morning gross saliva before you
Yeah.
brush your teeth. She's like, she texted, I failed. Yeah, men and women, this is a universal little green monster that feeds off of sugar and
Yeah.
starches. And yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Right. And it's not something like if you go into the doctor, because my my listeners have heard my story a million times, but I'll tell you a little bit about it too. It's like if you go into the doctor and you're like, hey, this feels off, and they're just like, here's this prescription, take this, do that. And so like in my early 30s after it, I had my two kids. I started having weird brain fog issues to the point where I'd feel like I was about to pass out, but I wouldn't pass out. And it was while I was driving my babies in the car. And I was like, this is not okay. Like, I have to figure out what's going on. And my mom had had a benign tumor on her pituitary when I was in college. And so we're like, the doctor was like, hey, not to name names, but because your mom over there, let's get a scan. The only thing they found was inflammation in my sinuses. So they're like, boom, chronic sinusitis, take allergy meds and nose spray. And I was like, okay, well, for how long? And they're like, forever. And I was like, no, this sounds like bullshit to me. I don't want to take allergy meds forever because when I would take the allergy meds, it would dry everything out so bad that I would feel like a tweaker. Like it just like all it threw everything off in a different way. So then I started doing my own research, found out that chronic sinus issues are generally linked to acid reflux, which I've dealt with my entire life because they say the coating of the extra mucus is supposedly helping coat the burn from the acid reflux. So I was like, okay, I'm never going to get rid of my sinus issues if I don't heal my gut.
Mhm.
And lo and behold, probiotics, better diet, cutting out sugar, balancing a few things out. So that was where my journey began. It's morphed over the years because now I'm in that fun perimenopause stage, um, and so. But that was how my journey began too, in figuring out. Well, I don't want to take these meds forever. How do I find out? But nobody said. I imagine if they had tested me for candida, then it would have been like, you
Mhm.
girlfriend, you need some serious help. But that's not where they start. It's people like you with programs like this and what we do that are like, well, let's look at your real health. What are you putting into your diet? Yeah, that's it's kind of what gets
Yeah.
us all onto this path of being able to help others.
Totally. When I meet clients, I often say I'm not just a coach, I'm a client. I'm even on program right now during like a multiple round. I have a 1 year old, so I'm in that next chapter. I feel it and I get it. I love telling clients that I want to be useless. So go through my program, get the knowledge, get what's needed. I've heard physicians say, why did they teach us this in school? There is a missing component there.
Mhm.
And this is it. I've yet to meet someone. I even had a college professor nutritionist as a client. So she teaches a lot of this, 3 ounces of a chicken breast, all that. And she's like, why didn't I learn this? So my goal is to educate you. Let's get you on a better track, rebalance you, and then by the end of it, my goal is to feel useless.
Yes, right. Like I tell people that too. Like you should be able to only need my help for a while, and then like you should be good to go. And then when life changes again, because right, fun things in a women's journey, this whole perimenopause thing. Because right, I'm 44. How old are you? If you don't mind my
I'm
asking.
gonna, I'm gonna be 40 soon. So
Yeah.
I'm right there. Yeah. My
So yeah,
microbiome is changing. I'm getting there.
yeah. And it's like I feel like this generation, like everyone's talking about perimenopause now. Now, I had a couple of my aunts, I would say maybe 6 or 7 years ago. My sister and I were hanging out with my aunts, and my sister and I were laughing about, like, oh man, we're having these red wine sweats at night if we drink red wine, and like not drinking a lot. But we're like, this is a new thing. And my aunts were like, it's probably premenopause. And we were like, shut up. And they're like, no, it takes like 10 years. The process starts before you hit menopause, about 10 years prior, things start happening. And we're like, what? So thanks to my aunts, I had a slight heads up. But also from what I've been learning too, like nutritionally, if you're balancing out your body to help your hormones get into the like right accurate balance, then some of those symptoms, and again, I'm learning new things to tweak what I'm doing so that my symptoms are less than what they were maybe like a year or two ago. But it's, yeah, it's a never ending balance. So we want to help people get in a good groove, but then when life is like, hey, now you got this new thing going on, then all right, maybe you need our help temporarily again to get you rebalanced. But
Yeah. No, for sure. Um, I think I mentioned the useless piece because what I've seen in the medical field, it's very similar. Get on this prescription drug, you're going to be on it forever, or we'll have to up the dose. Or I've heard clients who get on the weight loss injections say their physicians want them to stay on it forever. Otherwise, you're going to gain the weight back. I am very anti forever. I'm all about, and you don't really, you hear the word treatment in the medical field, but not so much healing or
yeah,
root cause.
you never hear root cause.
I mean, when I talk to physicians, my kids' doctors, I make them switch gears. All right, woman to woman, mom to mom. Then they open up about like, oh, you know what? Your daughter's microbiome could be experiencing this. Or like I make them switch gears. And my husband even scolds me. He's like, can you not be in your mode?
No, because right, you get totally different information from them. It sounds like
Mhm.
when you switch gears, and like my old school doctors were the ones that saw me growing up. So when my kids went through, I was like, "Hey, do I really need to do this?" And like, "Yeah, yeah, no." Or
Yeah.
like, here, it's I had my doctor used to have her, or my daughter's ears used to get clogged really bad, so we had to go in a few times to figure all that out. But I had one of the ENT that we ended up going to said, no, just put olive oil in her ear to soften up the wax so then it can more easily come out. And I was like, thank you for not giving me some prescription BS and telling me to just use olive oil. I was like, I love this guy. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh. I literally, right before this call, I was talking to a client, her hot flashes. She's like, what's happening? Blah, blah, blah. We went through 12 problems. Like, what's your trigger? Your trigger is in here somewhere, and then here's the solution. And
Yeah.
usually it's protein, MCT oil, eat every 3 to 4 hours. Like, here are your tricks and tools. Here's your trigger. Let's learn. And then here's what to do. So that's my goal, where you can get the solutions from your fridge as much as possible.
Absolutely. And then you were saying earlier too about getting people's like blood sugar imbalances. How many people are off on that too that you see?
Maybe like
Yeah.
85%. Yeah. I
And
mean, you just learn a lot from their lifestyle. How often are they eating? What's going on? I mean, essentially, this is a lifestyle program. Like,
mhm.
so much of your world, how often are you in front of a computer screen impacts you. Do you, like, I don't mean to, get all gossipy about your relationship, but like, are you happy at home? Like, what's going on? Let's unravel the source. Again, root cause.
Yeah.
And what can we do? A sense of control, like, seems to be what a lot of my clients want.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you check for their blood sugar imbalances as part of your guys' program?
Symptoms based again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you
How's that?
typically see in the people that are off? Like what's
Ooh, okay. I had a fun case study where a client, she heard about me a year and a half ago. Finally, she books an appointment, but it was a weird time. It was like 5 p.m. and I missed it. My bad. I'm so sorry. But I got an angry like email back. You ignored me, da 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 da. Like I've never met this woman.
yeah.
And her husband was in on this. And I'm like, what's going on? So the first thing I thought of was insulin imbalance. You can kind of tell, like, I mean, cravings, mood swings, clients with PCOS. Again, so
Yeah.
much of it is symptoms based, unfortunately. Like,
Yeah.
and sure enough, yeah, it was right there. And her lifestyle has a special needs child, a demanding attorney job. Like,
Just
yeah,
one of those two things is stressful. Both of those things combined, that's a lot on your plate.
I know. And it got to the point where her husband wanted her to do the program.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to like get a sense of like her back. So, yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, mood swings, cravings, are usually the top signs. Oh, restless leg syndrome can pop up. I think blood sugar. Yeah.
So I didn't realize this was a franchise thing, which is really cool. Where did it originate? The Be Balance.
Ooh, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Started by a woman, Dawn Cotillo. She actually wrote a book called The Hormone Shift. She was working with women in their 40s at the gym, like diet, exercise, diet, exercise. How come you're not losing weight? There's something off here.
Hmm.
So went down the rabbit hole, worked with functional medicine, chemists. All right, estrogen dominance. Oh, there's more here. Oh, how can we support the thyroid, blood sugar? All right, here's the magic pill. Here's how clients drop the weight without exercise and start feeling good. I like to say, like, I'm in the business of helping clients feel good because there's so much more here than just weight loss.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you start balancing out the imbalances, like people don't necessarily realize how much, right? The whole gut brain axis. And if your gut is off, then it's messing with your mood and potentially other like mental disorder stuff is linked to the imbalances in your gut. So when you balance that out and you just feel better and then realize, oh my gosh, I should just feel this good all the time. I mean, I imagine for you too, it's probably the one, like the main thing I love doing what I do is because when you get those people to then all of a sudden feel amazing and just being able to witness that and help someone feel good in their skin again is so
Yeah.
incredible to watch.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. I mean, sometimes I get tears. Yeah, sometimes I become a little pervert. Like I can't help but check out clients. Not just their bodies change, but their glow. Like boobs are out, shoulders back, like having better sex or loving their kids, enjoying their time with their kids. It's just internal transformation. It's more than just physical change, but like there's a frequency change. That's what a client has.
Yeah, yeah, right. That's so awesome. And then okay, so you're in Southern California.
I am.
I'm Northern California. How long have you been in Southern California?
Oh, my whole life. My husband
Hi.
and I are born and raised. Yeah.
That's my husband and I, born and raised up here.
Yeah.
Too funny. We briefly lived in Southern California back when my husband, he doesn't do prosthetics anymore, but he did prosthetic school and it was down in Aliso Viejo.
Okay.
We were down there but that was 20 years ago.
Uh, has a
Yeah.
good vibe over there. Yeah, that's
It
awesome.
was, it was, but we were like, that was when we had just had my son and he was 18 months at the time. So we were like, yeah, having babies and being that far away from family I was like, no, it's temporary, so it's fine. But like raising kids and having family around makes a huge difference, especially with your stress levels and trying to balance life.
Yes, the village. Yeah. I don't know, there's something that the founder will say, like in our creams, our hormone balancing creams, reducing stress. It's like if you go off to like the Virgin Islands, the Caribbean, yes, you won't really need our products because you're reducing your stress. But if you're going back into that stressful world again, kids, work, school, all of that, then let's support you. Let's give you the tools that you need to so you don't overwork your adrenal glands and your stress. So
Yeah. I did see that on the website too, and was going to ask you about the hormone balancing creams. Is there anything you can tell us about those?
ooh, I love them. One is called our Pro Plus. This is our progesterone, naturally derived ingredients, Mexican wild yams, but ours are really clean. There's empirical evidence, but from them, and there's a pulsatile time release. So when you put them on your body, you're not going to get that surge that you maybe would get from like bioidenticals. Um, that pulsatile time release is a great way for your body to adjust to it. Plus, it metabolizes within 48 hours. So you're not going to get a buildup there. The other one that partners with that is our Soothe Stress. This supports your cortisol levels. We're going to use it up. Here's some more. Let's support you there. So, really, the key thing there is DHEA. And we're really big on hormone precursors. So, no estrogen, no testosterone in our stuff because it's stimulatory. It's going to balance itself out. So, as we lower cortisol, boost the progesterone, guess what? Your estrogen is naturally going to climb up and balance out with it. This is why we believe in natural hormone balancing and not messing with the things that need to be messed with. We're supporting your body's natural ability to produce hormones.
Yeah. Awesome. And are these creams available just for anyone to purchase through you guys, or do you have to be a client to get them? How does that process work too?
We want at least one consultation. Let's
Okay.
learn about you, see what else is going. You might have some gut issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, our stuff is professional grade. So some oversight is needed,
Yeah.
but we offer, I mean, our creams can be as low as $40 a month. So price points, they're a lot cheaper, but cleaner. We don't have the glycerin, the alcohol that is in other stuff. I mean, I was Googling this week. I couldn't believe how jam-packed some of the progesterone creams are out there. And with something like this, you want to be able to work with someone who can assess how much progesterone or hormonal creams you're taking in. Maybe you need to be on a different protocol. So we ask clients to have a free consult with us. Let's check out your symptoms, put you on the creams, and then let's follow up with you free of charge, just to see how you're doing and see if this is the right protocol for you.
Okay. Good to know because I've talked about wild yam cream for a long time now, and right, there's so many that if you're just like searching on the internet to find one, you're like, well, okay, this one looks clean, says it's organic, but to have a place now where I can be like, hey guys, here's some awesome creams that you can get that are reputable products from a good company. This is amazing for me to have knowledge of now too, especially because the other cortisol one I haven't looked much into yet either. So
Mm.
to have a good recommendation is
Yeah.
fantastic. Um, because yeah, like if you can start here and these things help balance you out with a cream that is helping your own system. Now, clearly, if you're in a place where you're really struggling and need a bigger kick than that, but starting here is such a good place for so many people that generally can work and balance you out with just these natural sources that help your body balance.
Oh my gosh. We have a full line of supplements, but I don't even start there. I'm like, let's start with the creams because
Yeah.
this works on your blood sugar, your thyroid, your energy, your libido. I mean, I've had clients say, I don't really need my magnesium anymore or other like sleep products because the creams are really it. Even if you don't get on the Pro Plus and you're just on like supporting your cortisol levels, that already does something there.
Yeah.
And ours have been around since 2008. So trust me,
Awesome.
when they've been tested, I mean, our stuff is produced in an FDA approved lab. I mean, they're only sold to functional medicine providers. So
Oh, that is awesome. Very, very cool. Um, what's how many of these franchises are even out there?
they're over 20. The newest one is coming up in Long Beach, so near me.
Yeah.
So there will be three in California. It's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Where's the third one at?
The other one is in Pismo Beach.
Okay, I know exactly where
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
cool.
y- yeah, that one was actually started by a guy. So he's like, I went through, and he was a bodybuilder. I mean, with his background, a lot in wellness, but he's like, oh, this worked for me. I got my testosterone unbalanced. I tried losing weight, and I'm like, wow, I thought only women were involved, but yeah.
No, that's actually really good for a dude to be involved too, because right, I imagine the amount of testosterone fluctuations as a bodybuilder he potentially had, because that's a lot on the body to do all of that for sure. And the like, right, the levels of testosterone in males are declining like crazily.
Yeah, well, it's similar to what happens with women and with progesterone, right? Higher stress, higher cortisol, it's going to lower our progesterone. Similar with guys, higher stress, let's add in the xenoestrogens out there too, lower
Hmm.
testosterone starting at the age of 30. What a coincidence that that's the phase where we get married, have kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's crazy too, because even like, right, my kids are 20 and 17. So even when I was having kids, there were so many of us that I swear every female, just about every female, a close friend of mine or sister-in-law, we all had at least one miscarriage somewhere in our journey of having kids. I had one in between my two kids. One of my sister-in-laws had one her third pregnancy, so had two kids, had a miscarriage, had two more kids. Like it, one of them, like it wasn't always before even having kids, having a miscarriage and then having getting pregnant. Like it happened to literally every single one of us. Majority of us, after it happened, when we went to get pregnant again, we were going into the doctors right away to get our hormones checked, and most all of us ended up on some dose of progesterone because our progesterone was all low. And this was before I knew about the ways to boost it naturally, because I was just on the cusp of being like in the low category, but I was like, I don't want to like risk another miscarriage, so just give me, whatever low dose. Had I had known that I could balance it potentially, in between having the miscarriage to just get levels back where they were. But even back then, is my point, is that so many of us women, and we were anywhere from in our 20s to one of my cousins was like 40 having her kids, and that age range, it didn't matter, it was all of us that were low on progesterone and having to take it to work on not miscarrying again.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So look at the climate now. I mean, we're in a hustle bustle age. I mean, PCOS, endometriosis, so much of that infertility can be linked to high estrogen. And as we kind of learned, high cortisol, lower progesterone, that estrogen, progesterone want to balance out, but they can't. So that's what causes a lot of these issues.
Yeah.
I personally have been there too. I was so close to doing IVF and happened to go to Costa Rica, bounce my hormones naturally, and I got pregnant, but I was so close. I mean, I got the ultrasound, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
And then yeah, later on I did a round with BeBalanced. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. It improved my mood swings, my sleep, my skin, my weight, and it knocked me up. It took 5 years to make my son, and then here I am, like about to open a center, growing a belly. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm warning clients, be afraid, you might get pregnant. And sure enough, I get text messages, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, which is awesome, because and like I've seen this happen too, right? People start balancing out their systems and it just puts you back into a normal status of where our bodies are supposed to be, and then your body's like, "Oh yeah, we know what to do. You just were stressing us out and we couldn't do it."
Yeah. Oh. But again, that's what makes our jobs fun, right? Looking at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, right. Seeing the miracles happen, seeing people feel better, but yeah, it's right, and it's not something new. It's probably not something that's going away anytime soon. But the more we can teach people about things as simple as using wild yam cream, like how hard is it to put cream on? It's not
Mhm.
complicated. If that one thing helps trigger multiple other things, it's such an easy spot to start.
You said something about like this is the way you're supposed to feel. And I think we're tapping into, at least like this is what I'm seeing, how a lot of these symptoms and way of living has been normalized, right? And we're coming in disrupting that. Like, no, this is not
Yes.
how you're meant to feel. This is
Yes.
not how you're, there's something that can be done from a holistic, from like just efficient way that does not involve big pharma. I mean, I respect doctors. I do. I respect a lot of people I work with. Medical industry like has taken care of me in certain ways, but I do believe that there is a gap, a bridge, and let's just, be open because you are not meant to feel this way.
Exactly. And I couldn't agree with you more. Like, Western medicine has its time and place. If you need acute care, if you need something like to save your life immediately, then we have some pretty cool technology, some pretty cool things going on. But for long term general health, for long term well being, for just freaking eating the right things and not taking a prescription for the rest of your life, like that's where Western medicine fails us immensely. Even in because at age 17, my son got diagnosed type 1 diabetic, like literally almost died. There is zero history of diabetes in my family for type 1. I have a whole theory about well, how he really got it, but we're not going to get into that right now. But when he got diagnosed, they literally told him, you can still have all the cake you want. You just dose as much insulin to cover the cake. And I was like, dude, we're not listening to them because that's garbage advice. I would never tell someone, even with a functioning pancreas, to eat all the cake you want because that's terrible for your body. And so we came home and we did the opposite of what they told us to do in the hospital. And he went from an A1C of 15 at diagnosis, which is like lethal, to 5.4 4 months later. Yeah, not doing what the doctors told us to do. Literally, the only two things they told him to never have were soda and juice, which no one should be drinking soda. And really, a lot of juice doesn't have a lot of real benefits either. But they're like, you can have everything else. You can have pizza. You can do whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, dude, let's go home and try it and see what happens. And he was like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do that again. Because, of course, the numbers were crazy, even with dosing. But yeah, there's a huge disconnect. And immediately they saved his life because his blood sugars had been so high for so long that his blood pH was zero 0.1 away from being deadly. So they saved his life. The immediate care was perfect. But for lifelong health and maintenance, I was like, we're not going to do what they're telling you to do.
Oh, oh, that makes me sad. But good on you. That's another level of care as a mom to do that. And it's really inspirational. Um, Man, that's tough. I had a client, early 20s. Her mom called me, hey, can you help her lose weight? First, it was about losing weight, but I learned she was type 1, had epilepsy,
Oh,
and underlying, I think it was PCOS, so under me, so one of those.
mhm.
And so I'm like, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
But we got her to improve her gut, relax her nervous system because even my sister has epilepsy and she was really triggered. I mean, there's a strong connection between how
Mm,
stressed you are and
yeah.
the seizures that come on board. So by getting her to that calmer state, her periods became regular and less painful. She lost the weight. She felt better happily. Like we got the serotonin going in her gut to where
Awesome.
less seizures. I mean, and of course her blood sugar was controlled.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing. With, yeah, that many things going on to find a balance with that many things going on. And yeah,
I think another flaw in perhaps, or a room for improvement area in the medical industry is the way we treat the body. Yes, we have different organ systems, but if we treat them a la carte, that only gets you so far versus, hey, what if we assume that there's some connection between your gut and your anxiety or your joint pain and inflammation in your limbs?
yeah,
I,
yes, right. Like, and if it would get to the point where the doctors could say, okay, well, if you're in that much pain right now, I'm going to give you this, but you also need to go see this person who's going to help you get to the root cause. Like, that's where the integration really needs to happen so that people can get to the root issue and have guidance along the way to be able to, heal and feel better.
yeah. I think we're slowly moving there. I'm talking to other physicians and acupuncturists, and we're slowly getting there
Yeah.
compared to where I was when I started in the medical industry, which is good. Like, I'm
Yeah.
talking to diabetic pharmacists and physicians. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my client improved this. Let's lower the metformin. Like, great. This is a good partnership.
Uh,
Again, going back to like destiny, this is how it's kind of meant to be in a way,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Right. Like, I feel like I've been slowly seeing this shift too. Because yeah, like for type 2 diabetes, there's so much you can do to where you can reverse it.
Mhm.
um, and like the knowledge and then the support. And I mean, yeah, it takes discipline. So you have to be willing to do the things you have to do every single day. But yeah, and a lot of people are like, well, I wish I could just go to my doctor to figure this out. And even my own mom, because my mom was, she actually still is a registered nurse. She just doesn't work. She's been retired for a while, but she's like, I'm going to keep my license for a few more years. Um, there's times where she's like, listen, I know what you're telling me to do, but it's hard for me to always want to listen to you as my daughter. I'm like, all right, mom, I get it. But over the years, she has slowly made improvements. And all of the women, her mom, her sister, her mom's mom, all died before the age of 60. And my mom just turned 69. Because I was like, Mom, we're breaking that curse. Like, we're going to fix your health. That doesn't have to be your destiny. And she just turned 69 last month. So I was like, we're doing it.
Yeah, I love the disrupting energy. We need to disrupt the norm.
Yeah.
Us women, we're such powerhouses. We're doing so much, our full-time job, kids, work, husband, all of that. And no, this is really empowering. Like I see it, I see you have that passion to just like, oh, let's change the norm, let's turn it up. And mom, just like lean in, just lean in a little bit. Let me
Right.
help you. Sometimes
Uh,
that's what I ask clients, just like lean in. You don't have to believe me, but trust me a little bit.
right. Let's just give me a little bit. And then once you start seeing and feeling and getting all the results, then you can lean in a little bit more. Right? Like, you didn't get to the point where you are overnight. So reversing it is going to take time too. You just have to be willing to go along with the process.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, don't we have fun with what we do?
100%. 100%. Okay. Well, I feel like we could probably keep talking forever, but we're going to wrap it up. But I do want you guys to be able to find, Cher, and if you need any of the creams or anything else she's been talking about, or even just the consult to see what kind of guidance she can give you, Cher, where can they find you?
Yeah, we take clients both virtually and in person in our centers. So we'll take all clients, different states. You can go to bebalancedla.com and book a free consult with any of our coaches, and we're going to get to the bottom of what's going on with you. Um, I would recommend checking out our creams. They're $40. You would have to go through us because, again, this is professional grade. It's not like the other stuff out there. So go to BeBalancedLA.com, book a free consult, or you can call us at 818-854-6416. We love answering any fun questions.
Awesome. And I will make sure to put those links in wherever this gets posted so that they can click on the link to get right to you as well. Any social media accounts to follow too that you guys have?
BeBalanced LA on Instagram, BeBalanced LA on Facebook. Yeah.
Easy to find. I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for being our guest today. And you guys that are listening, I hopefully, if you don't know where to find me, YouTube, am I on Spotify now? I got to update where all I'm at, but Instagram, all the places, you guys know where to find me. Thanks for being here today and have an awesome day.
Bye.